Hey everybody, this is Metaphysical Matters with Psychic Angela Faye Moore. I'm Kim Clark, and we are so happy to be here with you today. Sorry we couldn't be doing it live, but we've made some adjustments because of the Facebook Live being so out of sync. It was really hard to watch. It was for me, for sure, I know. So we decided to try this new format and do it pre-recorded, but immediately get it to you. So let's see where we go with this. So Angela, this has been a very, very strange week. A week that most of us never envisioned us living through. We don't know what's coming. So I know it's changed things for you. What's been going on at your house? I know Dylan's been here.
That's it.
How's that? How are you coping
Dylan
with
has sucked the life right out of my world and absorbed it all into his own being.
that? What's he been doing?
For those that don't know, Dylan's my 11-and-a-half-year-old grandbaby that I'm raising. He's mine, and he's my son's son, and he is a creative. That's the word we're going to use today. Person.
He's a future fashion mogul.
He is a nut. He is taken.
So what's he been doing?
He sucks all the energy out of the room in a joyful way, many times, but also in a way that's like, oh my God, how am I going to live till he gets to 13? He's doing great. I mean, he's happy. He was so upset when they, not when they canceled school, because he was all about that. But then when we had to go to school and get a packet to basically homeschool your child,
Right.
no, he is not happy with that at all. And actually, he did not. He told me that he had done a lot of it, and I was like foolishly buying it. And then I looked at it to make sure, and good thing, because he had done basically very, very little of what he was supposed to do.
See, that's the difference between homeschooling and being at the real school. His teachers are onto that stuff, and you weren't.
They are onto that, but today I have decided, routine is extremely important to a kid like Dylan. And so I have sent him to his other grandparents. And I told him to call his grandma Miss Smith and think of her as his teacher. She's tough. She's not like me, so he'll get around me. But he won't get around her. She'll break out a switch if she has to.
Well, I think there's some opportunities with what's going on right now. It's scary, but we also have some opportunities here. One thing I've already noticed is that we're being reminded of how much we're all connected. We really are.
And it has to be in such a negative way, but hopefully it can be turned for positive, like you're talking.
And absolutely, and also I think this is a chance for us to do a big reset. It's like we are in collective timeout, and we can pray that this does not develop into anything to be a really bad historic type event. But
it's already that.
Well, let's just pray it doesn't get any worse, or not much worse. But I feel like it is an opportunity for us too to hit a reset, because right now we're quiet. We're all withdrawn, and it gives us a chance to reassess what it was we were doing.
It does, and it's like this, you got a choice. You can look at this with horror, which you're going to do sometimes, don't care who you are anyway. You can't help it, you're human. But you got to take control of those thoughts and decide to do exactly what you said, and look at, maybe as an opportunity to see something maybe you wouldn't have seen before, see how maybe your family is actually doing because you're there with them, and, see exactly what does matter to you and who matters to you and what is it you really need, in your life. So I think that you do have to, it's like this, you got a choice, as I said, to go into the dark or try to find a glimmer of light. Might be time for you to catch up on all those movies that you've been planning on watching and whatnot too. Not you, but a person in general,
Ellen and I have been doing, if she watches this, she'll laugh and she'll go, the and I, because she's been doing the bulk of it. But we've been doing deep cleaning in the house. She's been doing,
yes,
which symbolically is really important. I mean, because you're cleaning out your life. I think that's collectively what we're doing here. But I've been cleaning out junk drawers and getting them organized and going through the cabinets, and she's been dusting and cleaning. And at least at this point in our forced, kind of hibernation, it's good.
It is, and it's like I've been trying to find time to do Dylan's room. It is god awful in there. It is at this point probably a fire hazard. We've got some shelving. I don't know where James got it. James finds things.
He's a good scavenger.
He scavenges. He is not like you and me. But anyway, I thought this is great because this is what I need. And also, while he's over there at his homeschool nanas, I am going to hopefully. I am going to get in there and get stuff thrown away. I mean, oh my God, he's a hoarder. Or he is a hoarder. James is a hoarder, but he is a hoarder extraordinaire. He names things too. He had a balloon. He named it Ricky. Why does he do that? But anyway, it's like he gets.
Whoa. A balloon named Ricky.
Yes, he will name things. He names, oh my God, he named his remote control. I forgot what its name was now for his TV. What was the name of that? Oh my God, he names everything. And it's like, that's driving me crazy now because I can't remember the name. It started with an M. But anyway, it's like, yes, he does this and that's fine. I want him to be who he is. It's important to let people be who they are, and you don't try to change who they are fundamentally. But somebody's got to get that crap out of that room. I mean, it's not filth. Don't get me wrong, but it's just junk.
Yeah.
And probably filth under it at this point.
But we've talked about before how there's consciousness in everything. So maybe the balloon, Ricky is the consciousness of the balloon.
Well, he would probably agree with that 100%.
That is so hilariously cool.
Yeah, it is.
And absurdly cool. Well, let's talk about, we're talking about the good aspects of what we're going through right now, but it is easy, and of course, it's natural to get freaked out right now because you just don't know, and there's a lot of news that's scary, and sometimes I think the news is being way overly scary, but I understand it's a line to walk. So let's talk about how to calm down if you do find yourself getting swept up into a panic storm, which is easy to do. What do you do to calm down?
Mostly I yell at other people. I think that you have some techniques that you might want to share with people, but honestly, sometimes you just have to think of it as a wave, which is what I feel with this whole virus thing. It's a wave, and the wave has not even come to a crest yet. But after it does crest, it'll come back down again. But until then, you just have to ride the wave, and that's all there is to it. But panic is also a wave, and I think you have to. Sometimes you just have to feel what you feel until you don't. I'll be blunt. But, you can do breathing things. You can talk to your friends if you can do that without panicking them. Sometimes you want to smack a person that's panicking because their thoughts, I'm sorry, drinking tea here. This made me belch. I do that a lot. Anyway, people's thoughts get out of control and you can't tell them anything. And you do. It's like I see now in all the old movies, it slap the person.
It's grounding.
It's grounding and probably very pleasurable for the one doing the slapping too, to hurt your hand. But sometimes you have to maybe give an emotional slap, you might say, like shake or whatever, to get them to focus on reality, to focus on what they actually know, not what they terribly are fearing, and then even if it's the worst case, what's a panic going to do about it? So we do it, it's normal, we do these things, but you got to seek help from your friends. You got to be a friend. You got to be a parent to yourself. If you have a child and your child is in a panic over something or other, if you're a good parent, if you're a normal parent, you're going to talk to your kid. You're going to help them. You're going to distract them. You're going to, give them comfort. And that's what you're supposed to do. Well, you got an inner child. And you have to do the same thing with your inner child. You have to comfort that person in here that is so scared and remind them that you are in control of things a lot more than you might think you are, and that you will care for this child. You will do what has to be done in order to make it be okay. And if not, maybe your higher power's got this. Maybe your God, if you believe in that, and I do, maybe he's got this, and maybe this is just the way it's going to be till it's not. There's learning in everything too. Remember that. Everything. We're here to have a human experience. Maybe we were here to know what it is to have an experience in a state of a epidemic or pandemic, which we all knew was coming. We've been saying it for years. I'm wildly surprised it took this long, to be honest. And there'll probably be another one, It'll probably be at some point something's going to wipe out probably half the population, but not yet. Maybe not in our lifetime. But, likely that's something that will happen.
Well, let me ask you, you're talking about...
This is practice, people. This is practice. Anyway, go ahead.
I actually had that thought too. you're talking about calming your inner child. Do you recommend? Do you say, "Hey, Kim"? Do you just or give yourself your inner child a different name? I mean, how do you?
No, you talk to yourself. If you know, you are the inner child. Just talk to your. I told you before. Sometimes I use the picture of 5-year-old me to talk to myself, and I tell her because I can look at that picture and say, and you got a lot of crap coming up, but you're going to be all right. You're not going to believe what's going to happen to you in a few years. Stuff like that to help me to visualize that child I'm talking to. But you can also close your eyes and imagine you're going into a very dark room, and imagine when you're in that room there is a little child, maybe a baby, even crying in a crib, panicking, and then you visualize going over there to that child perhaps and picking it up and comforting it and telling it what it needs to hear in order to be okay. But you got to stop looking on the scary side. I'm talking to one person I know is watching. But
Well,
I won't call any names.
It could be me too. I was just telling her before we got started. I just went into a full blown panic yesterday. I just did.
It's easy to do. Like I said, you got some techniques that you can share now if you want to, and I'll quit talking for a minute and let you. And as I've already told you too, to just recap this quickie, the 4-7-8 technique is often a good one. And you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold for 7 seconds, and you breathe out for 7 seconds. And also, if you have trouble sleeping, do your breathing, tense and release your body, maybe your whole body at once, or just start with your feet and work up and down. That's a good thing too, the tense and release. But then you imagine maybe that there is a blue ball that's opened up right there with you, beautiful blue ball, and that you go right through it. I told you this before, but I'm going to tell you again. And then as you're in that ball, in your cozy bed that just suddenly happened to be there, you're floating over the water gently. Now, I know I told you before, but again, not everybody saw the last one or could stand it because of all the video stuff, or because I'm just going to tell you again anyway. So, do that, because that is a helpful way for a lot of people to maybe get into a little bit better relaxation mode. Watch some comedies. Watch some comedy movies.
Or watch, there was something that Angela shared with you guys on Facebook maybe yesterday, because I'd sent it to her, about Stella the dog. Stella the dog has a YouTube channel, but this one was Stella's greatest leaf leaps. And it was this dog, I guess a golden retriever, just jumping into these piles of leaves, and it's so joyous and exuberant and just free, and it's really wonderful to watch it.
It is.
Seek that out.
If I did not, I think I posted it, but I will double check, because I think I do things all the time that I didn't do anymore. I'll repost it. It's on YouTube though. Just go there and search Stella the dog's. What was it? Best moments.
Best leaf leaps.
Yes, it does. It's very joyful.
Yeah. Speaking of that, one time, I think I told you this a while back, but this would have been probably a good 20 to 25 years ago. I actually had a mind meld with a dog, accidentally. And it was the most joyous, free feeling I've ever felt.
That's awesome. I do not remember that, so tell me again.
Okay, I had taken our dogs for a walk when I lived out there in Burke County with my ex-husband. We had a wonderful, wonderful little, old farm. And I took all of the dogs for a walk. We had big dogs, and there was this one dog that took up with us, and she's a bit of a mongrel, but she lived at another house, and when they left to go to work, she'd come down to our house and stay all day and then go back to her real house at night. We just called her Neighbor Girl, and Neighbor Girl went everywhere we did. So when I took our dogs for a walk, Neighbor Girl went. And I just kind of gotten in that kind of meditative state, walking, wasn't really thinking about anything, just kind of zoned out. And I heard a dog coming through the woods, and I just glanced up to see which one it was, and it was Neighbor Girl. But in just that moment, I had a mind meld with that dog, just for a few seconds. And my heart was full of joy and just freedom and love, and everything is okay, and isn't this a trip? Isn't this a blast? I mean, it was amazing.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually had something like that happen one time too, but not with a dog. You know what it was?
What?
I'm not making this up, and it's not for humor. It was a cow. It was a
I remember
long cow.
that.
Yeah, it was a long cow. It was in a pasture. It was, I guess, a milk cow. It wasn't a beef cattle. Anyway, I'm just walking along with these people, and it's like I suddenly, locked with it. It was crazy. Wasn't expecting that. The only thing I can say, it was at that moment I understand why the cow in some cultures are considered holy. It was, I don't know, it was something there. It wasn't like this individual cow. It was like a gateway to that whole spirit of the bovine, I guess you might say. And it was deep. It was deep. That's all I can tell you.
Wow.
It was just very. There are not words. Okay, that's all I got to tell you. I didn't mean to say like me too, but
No, no. I'm glad you shared that, and I get it. I mean, anybody that you, if you have cows or you're close to cows, you know what she's talking about. The There are cows behind our house that I help care for just because I want to, and I have really learned to love cows. I love them. There's so much more to them than what we think, and maybe we feel like we have to kind of remove them because they're such a food source. And I have a hard time rectifying that inside of my own self, but I love them. Before we get too far, I do want to share a few things with y'all from the energy medicine point of view, to help you calm down if you need to. Right now, in particular, but anytime you need it. And all of this is built around this meridian in your body called the triple warmer or triple burner, and that governs your fight or flight mechanism in your body, and it's crucial to our survival. That's your guardian, but sometimes your guardian can get on alert and not get off alert. So there's some techniques that you can use to do that. One is called the triple warmer smoothie, and these things look so deceptively simple, and you'll go, oh, that's not going to help. But if you do it, you'll find out it will help. Like if you're in a full-blown panic attack and you do these, it's not going to be like instant, but just give your energy about 10 minutes to calm, and you'll feel it calm. But the triple warmer smoothie, all you do is you start right here in your forehead and just kind of push in with some pressure and pull apart, and that is literally relieving some pressure out of your head, literally. So you just pull it apart and come down, and do that on the inhale, and come down to your temples. And then on the exhale, you just smooth around behind your ears because you're following that triple warmer meridian, and then come down to your shoulders and just kind of just stop there for a minute, let your fingers hang, and just feel how that relaxed that makes you. And then just bring your hands down and cross them over your heart.
that works. That works. You know, you've seen people before, they get exasperated, they'll do something similar.
You naturally do that.
That is amazing. I love it.
That's why if somebody comes up behind you and starts giving you a little massage,
yeah.
and you just melt because
Yeah.
it feels so good. So do that a few times and get to the point where you're timing it out, where you're doing it faster, like inhale, exhale. Do it about 3 or 4 times and you'll be amazed.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a triple warmer smoothie. And there's a couple other holds, and this again has to do with the triple warmer. This is right here in this notch, right here on your throat. That's a triple warmer point. Just make a little, like a 2 or 3 finger prong there.
That's really sore right there. Does that,
Okay.
that mean?
If it's sore, rub it and get that stuck energy out of there.
Man, it is really sore.
Yeah, see, mine's not sore because I do this a lot. Like I said, I was in full blown panic yesterday, so I'm like, but anyway, so you can make a 2 or 3 finger notch there, and then just put it, like, if you freak out, you naturally go, oh my God, like this, right? That's just a natural tendency. So just to do that more purposefully, hold your head like that, and put your fingers right here, and again, breathe. And what really makes this kind of stuff work better is if you breathe in your nose and out your mouth, because that completes a circuit going through an energetic circuit.
Well, that's actually going to stop being sore. How bizarre is that?
You can do. If you find a sore place on your body, most of the time it's because you have stagnant energy there. So you just work it out.
Awesome.
Yeah. So there's also this hold that'll help, and then if a variation on that is just to hold here and then behind your head. And again, just do that deep breathing in your nose and out your mouth. And it will calm
And
your
that's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's very easy, and what it does, it just overrides that panic command that you're giving your body. Just kind of overrides that.
Well, I tell you, I know a lot of people in my family that could use that because they tend to have panic attacks and whatnot.
Well, I've been having them lately, but I don't know if it's what we're going through or anyway.
You're also
there you go.
sensitive, and sensitive people pick up other people's nonsense. And probably we should wind it up for now.
Yeah,
And we'll
let's
do
do that.
another, people. We'll do another.
We've if you have some other stuff you want us to talk about,
Just keep them in the comments.
Yeah,
I'm
put it-
checking my phone.
yeah, and we already have some notes that folks had sent before, so we'll be back with some other stuff.
We may be back in a minute.